all right, so you said in the song, you waited, you told her you were going to do it on your terms when you were ready. You do the song, you drop it. At this point, though, like, I mean, so that reignites everything. Because I remember y'all were going back and forth. Your whole thing was you felt like you just doing this because you want my platform, you want the attention. I'm going to give it to you, and then I'm done with it. This reignites it all. Like, why even address her again on the album?
Because you mentioned my kids trying to be cute. There's gonna be times that like people throw shots at you, or like there's gonna be times like, you know, like when she did her little diss and it was trash. Like it's like it could have been trash. People dragged you and I could leave it at that. But it's like everything on social media is gonna be seen. So when my kids grow up one day and they see that you mentioned them, and then they're gonna ask me like, so what you said, what you did? I'm not gonna tell my kids like, you know, I just felt like she took the high road because she lost because people wasn't on her side. No, I'm not saying that to my kids. I'm like, you see her $9.99. He's got $15 right here though. $20. $9.99 for the little ones. Y'all get the little ones for $9.99. What up, y'all? We outside. We got the exclusive Cardi B new album we selling right now. Look at it right here. We got the vinyls. We got the CDs. We got the core edition. $9.99. $9.99. Go get your CDs, y'all. $9.99.
Cardi B just shook the entire music scene with her brand new album, Am I the Drama? After keeping fans on ice for a jaw-dropping 7 years since her debut, she finally dropped it yesterday. And the internet hasn't stopped buzzing since. The project comes stacked with 23 tracks and star-studded features from Summer Walker, Selena Gomez, Kehlani, Lizzo, and even Janet Jackson herself. But here's the kicker. The album went platinum in less than 24 hours. Yes, less than a day, and people cannot stop arguing about how that even happened. Now let's break this down because fans are split. Normally it takes weeks, months, or even years for an album to hit platinum status. Cardi managed to do it before people even finished listening to all 23 tracks. How? 2 songs, WAP and Up. Cardi slid both of these mega hits into her new album, and that move changed everything.
Pros and cons of Cardi B new album, Am I the Drama? I'm gonna start off with the pros. First of all, the rollout. Actually, I love the rollout. Every day you was posting something, it was something new coming out. Basically, this has been a Cardi B week, I ain't gonna lie. Secondly, I love the nostalgic vibes of Invasion of Privacy, like a little bit of rap, a little bit of feelings, but it still felt new and up to date in certain ways. That was cute, Cardi. Thirdly, I love when she do songs that got an R&B artist doing the chorus and she doing the rapping part, like the one with her and Kehlani, Safe. I love that. To me, that's the best song on the album. Top 3 at least. And of course, we love the drama. You ate up on the rap beats, Cardi. Now, the cons is only one big con for me. I just feel like we just should never waited 7 years for that. I feel like that would have been just cute, released 2 years ago.
Remember, WAP came out back in 2020 and is already certified 9 times platinum, while Up dropped in 2021 and went 5 times platinum. Both songs topped the Billboard Hot 100, so including them meant millions of units instantly counted toward this album. Basically, Cardi's new release walked into the game already wearing a platinum crown. But here's where the drama kicks in. People can't agree on whether that was genius or downright shady. Some fans are hyping her up, saying, "Yes, queen, you pulled off the move of the decade," while critics are dragging her for playing the numbers game. They're calling it a cheat code to make the project look more successful than it really is.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I'm out here trying to sell these CDs. I'm trying to change my life around. I used to be a professional ballerina. Well, trying to make a better example for my kids.
Personally, when I listen to Cardi B album, it kind of give me like shock value listening. Like, you know, like when you hear something for the first time, you'd be like, why would they say that? But it's like that one time is the one time you're gonna feel that way. Like, as far as like, if I go back and listen to Magnet a couple times over and over, it's like when I first heard it, it's like, okay, damn, you really said that shit. But it's like after a while, you're like, that's it. Like, and then like when it came down to Bia, it's like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be dead too. But it's like you really brought that beef back out of the woodworks when really, honestly, nobody was thinking about her. You made us think about her again. That's why I'm like, it's kind of like this moment was like a little bit of spite. Now, granted, you know, the songs about Offset, those can run free. But I'm like, it's come down to the other part, just like, it's just like a lot of energy was just put towards like old beef and stuff like that. Like, if this was a normal person, we would pretty much be like, you're still on that? Like, you're still going back and forth with these bitches all this time. I'm just personally trying to figure out how is this going to transfer into an arena performance. Like, as far as having songs that you can like dance to and like have a choreography to, I'm trying to like really grasp like what songs are actually going to have like a stage presence, you know what I mean? All I have to say is though, just don't take 7 years again.
One critic even compared it to using old lottery tickets to cash in again, and that's got people heated. But Cardi's not backing down. Back in June, she clapped back on Twitter saying WAP and Up are her 2 biggest records. Her fans have been begging for them on an album and that these songs deserve a permanent home. She also reminded everyone that these old hits don't even count toward her first week sales. So in her eyes, people need to stop being mad. Now here's the twist. Some people think this was a genius business move, securing her spot in history, while others swear it reeks of desperation. But whether you love her or hate her, the fact remains. Cardi just joined Lady Gaga as one of the only artists in 2025 to score a platinum album this fast.
Why would you go and tell us name 5 Bill songs? Listen, technically she wasn't lying, okay? Because I don't know not name Bill song. The only Bill song I know is by Lil Jon and the Eastside Crew. Now that I listened to Cardi's album in its entirety, y'all, I'm not playing. Cardi went in that studio and snapped for real. Like, every feature that she had on there did they thing. Like Lizzo, she had her Jennifer Hudson going on, but she sounded real good. Selena Gomez, the way Selena and Cardi complimented each other on the album, 10 out of 10. The only negative thing I could say about the album is when it came to the Janet Jackson feature, it was a sample, okay? So technically wasn't a feature, but other than that, I really enjoyed this album. And it's like no skips. Like, do you know how hard of an album it has to be to have 23 songs and you can just listen to it and not skip any one? Like, Cardi did this, okay? And Cardi, if you see this video and when you come to my city for the tour, we should link up, okay? Let's make that happen. I'm gonna keep saying that until it happens. Like, me and Cardi.
And yet, the chaos doesn't stop there. While some fans are blasting her album on repeat, others are saying it feels dated, like it could have dropped years ago. Imagine waiting 7 years only to hear something that sounds stuck in the past. The debate is wild, and trust me, this rollout is far from smooth sailing for Cardi. Cardi's comeback singles Outside and Imaginary Plays didn't exactly smash the charts the way people thought they would. Sure, Outside made it to number 10 on Billboard, but insiders were expecting nothing less than a number 1. That little slip has fans whispering. Is Cardi losing her grip, or is the game just changing around her? The debate is fierce, but what really set the streets on fire wasn't her chart positions, it was the lyrical smoke she dropped on this album. On her track, Pretty and Petty, Cardi unloaded on none other than Bia. And when I say she went in, I mean she went all the way in.
I see people say like she's showing fake love support. I always listen to more female music. Of course, I'm a female. When I see somebody I like their content or I like their music, I'm gonna post it. Like I always thought Sukiana was funny, so it's like I like her. Love Rosalia music. I love Normani music. Ruby Rose, I liked her and I feel like I see her going further and everything.
All right, so you said in the song, you waited, you told her you were gonna do it on your terms when you were ready. You do the song, you drop it. At this point though, like, I mean, so that reignites everything. Cause I remember y'all were going back and forth. Your whole thing was you felt like you just doing this cause you want my platform, you want the attention. I'm gonna give it to you and then I'm done with it. This reignites it all. Like, why even address her again on the album?
Because you mentioned my kids trying to be cute. There's gonna be times that like people throw shots at you, or like there's gonna be times like, you know, like when she did her little diss and it was trash. Like it's like it could have been trash. People dragged you and I could leave it at that. But it's like everything on social media is gonna be seen. So when my kids grow up one day and they see that you mentioned them, and then they're gonna ask me like, so what you said, what you did? I'm not gonna tell my kids like, you know, I just felt like she took the high road because she lost because people wasn't on her side. No, I'm not saying that to my kids. I'm like, you see,
fans are calling it one of the rawest diss verses we've heard in years. She didn't just come for Bia, she demolished her line after line. If you didn't know about their beef, let me fill you in. It's messy. Bia's been accusing Cardi for years of copying her whole vibe, her style, her sound, her swag, even her flow. She's claimed Cardi built her empire by biting her blueprint, and she aired all of this out on Twitter. Cardi clapped back, saying she doesn't even think about Bia, but the tension didn't die down. That's when Bia tried to take it nuclear, accusing Cardi of cheating on Offset. After that, the feud was permanent. No going back. Bia even released a diss track aimed straight at Cardi, but Cardi kept quiet until now. And trust me, the wait made her response sting even harder. Cardi explained on The Breakfast Club that she stayed silent at first, but once Bia dragged her kids into it, that was the line she refused to let slide. And that's why Pretty and Petty hit so hard. It's personal, and you can hear it in every bar. But Bia wasn't the only one who caught smoke. Fans swear Cardi sprinkled shots at JT and even Ice Spice across the album. Add in the raw, emotional tracks about her split from Offset, and suddenly the title, Am I the Drummer, makes perfect sense. This whole project feels like one giant clapback. Cardi putting all her scars, anger, and pride out there for the world to hear. Now the big question, will all this drama actually move numbers? Early predictions say the album might push under 200,000 units first week when you look at the new material alone. That's not the blockbuster some expected after 7 years away, but with the internet exploding over the dices and heartbreak confessions, one thing's for sure, Nobody's ignoring this rollout. Cardi's new album might be breaking records, but the backlash is spreading fast, and it's not just about her disses. Critics are tearing into the project for its overall sound, with some saying the production feels recycled and stuck in 2019 vibes. Imagine waiting 7 years for an album, only for people to say it sounds like something she could have dropped halfway through the pandemic. That's rough.
Cardi B has dropped her long-awaited album, Am I the Drama? It's been around 8 years since she dropped Invasion of Privacy, and I just listened to Am I the Drama? And I'm gonna give you my honest review and how I feel about the album. When I first heard Invasion of Privacy, I remember I was playing that joint in my car and I was just vibing from the first track to the last. It had like a bunch of rappers in there. We also had the inclusion of the Migos. Obviously, we don't have that on this album. This album doesn't have a lot of rap features. When I looked at the features for this album, I seen a lot of like, it's heavily driven on female songwriters, female singers. It has Kehlani, it has Lizzo. So, and it has Summer Walker, who actually shows up multiple times on this album. For the most part, Cardi soloed this album herself, which was surprising to see, but it was amazing because I think she did an amazing job on this album. Even with the features and the female songwriters that's featured on this album is hard. Cardi went off on this album. This is Cardi's testament to her pain and everything that she's been through throughout the years. You definitely have a lot of, conversations, that she's having towards her baby father, Offset. So you're definitely gonna hear her saying things about that. But for the most part, this is a rap album. The singles that she put out outside and Imaginary Players was just a slicing on the cake compared to what is on this album. Bodega Baddies is gonna go crazy on TikTok. My only issue with that song is that's too short. I wish it was longer. I really wish it was. My favorite song just so happens to be a song she has on there with Lizzo because it has a sample.
Fans who expected a completely new era are accusing Cardi of playing it safe, leaning too heavy on old formulas instead of reinventing herself. Then there's the rollout chaos. The platinum certification drama had people side-eyeing her strategy, but the criticism didn't stop there. Some listeners are pointing out that her lyrics focus too much on beefs and personal grudges, arguing that she should have delivered more timeless material instead of turning the whole album into what feels like one long diss session. They're saying Cardi is more concerned with clapping back at enemies than creating tracks with lasting replay value, and that's fueling the fire online. Social media has turned into a war zone. Cardi's hardcore fans are dragging anyone who dares call the album dated, defending her like soldiers in a digital battlefield. But her critics are just as loud, blasting her for being predictable and lazy. Some even went as far as to say that Cardi seems more focused on proving points than pushing artistry. The divide is so sharp that every post about the album turns into a full-blown argument, with thousands of comments fighting over whether she delivered or fumbled. And let's not ignore the Offset factor. With the divorce looming in the background, plenty of people think she leaned on that drama a little too hard. While the emotional tracks got fans talking, others are calling it overexposed, saying she's milking the breakup for sympathy points instead of moving forward creatively. Add in the subliminal jabs at other female rappers, and suddenly the album feels less like a fresh body of work and more like Cardi's personal diary turned into 23 tracks of smoke and shade. Still, whether people love it or hate it, one thing is clear. This album has everybody talking, and Cardi knows exactly how to keep her name in the headlines. The industry itself is buzzing about Cardi's new release, and the reactions behind the scenes are just as messy as what fans are saying online. Executives and insiders are whispering that her long break may have cost her momentum. Some believe the 7-year gap left too much space for other women in rap to rise, making the competition tighter than ever. Now, people are questioning whether Cardi can still dominate the charts the way she did when she first exploded onto the scene with Invasion of Privacy. What really stings is how other artists are reacting. Some are quietly congratulating her, but others are throwing subtle shade. A few rappers have liked shady tweets suggesting that Cardi is stuck in the past, while others are hinting that her platinum flex doesn't mean much since it leaned on old hits. The whispers are clear. There's doubt in the industry about whether this project proves she's still on top or if she's just coasting off her legacy. Producers are weighing in too. Some praise her for pulling heavyweight features like Janet Jackson, calling it a power move only Cardi could pull off.
Somebody who has listened to the majority of the Cardi B album, let me just say this. It's Cardi Beatrice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be expecting this hard, grungy rap. Like, it's not about to be the best bars of the year. We know that. With that said, Salute, amazing song. The song with Kehlani, amazing song. Bodega Baddie, amazing song. Pretty Petty, whatever called, the shot against Bia, amazing. Loved it for what it's worth. I feel like Cardi B had those fun, turned up songs a little bit, shaking down, typical Cardi B. She had a breakup song. You going through it, you gonna love it. I don't really want to hear sad Cardi going on a journey. That's just not me, because that's not what I know her for. And then she had, some stuff that You could tell it's like more radio play-ish, like mall kind of friendly music. You know, she's dibbling in multiple genres. Was it cohesive? Hell fucking no. Was it telling a story on like a journey? Hell fucking no. But I'm not listening to Cardi B for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an artist I would go to for that kind of music. So when y'all throwing her in this like harsh, rap category, she gotta be the hardest rapper out here. I don't think she's ever claimed to be. Or you know what? Maybe she has. Maybe she has. But I will say,
features, and it's like I'm not really trying to press or go crazy on these artists because I love them down, but it's like, come on now, I need that right now. Hello, y'all don't want to miss this opportunity. I'll sing this myself. I'll sing this myself, but I really need y'all. I need y'all to hurry up, and I love y'all, and I feel like I feel like nobody will want to miss being on this album.
But others feel like the guest appearances outshined her on her own tracks, with comments like, Janet carried that song making rounds on social media. The narrative that Cardi might be relying too much on collaborations instead of standing solo has started to stick, and it's adding another layer to the backlash. And then there's the streaming drama. People are picking apart the numbers, accusing her team of using inflated tactics to secure milestones. From playlist placements to bundling strategies, critics are saying the success doesn't fully reflect genuine fan demand. This kind of talk fuels suspicions that her career is being propped up more by marketing than raw talent. Still, every headline about the backlash only pushes the album further into the spotlight. Some say this controversy is actually working in her favor because even her haters can't stop listening just to have an opinion. Others warn it's a dangerous game. If the music doesn't stand the test of time, all the smoke and scandal won't save it. But at the end of the day, all eyes are locked on Cardi to see if this album can really hold its weight once the hype dies down. People are waiting for those official numbers like it's a championship game, and the tension is only adding to the drama. Critics, fans, and even other artists are lining up with their hot takes, and the back and forth isn't slowing down anytime soon. Some say Cardi proved she still got that superstar power, while others swear she just exposed herself by leaning too hard on past glory. And then there's the elephant in the room. How much of this is pure talent and how much is just strategy, marketing, and controversy rolled into one? Every headline, every reaction, every chart prediction feels like another piece in this puzzle that only Cardi herself can solve with time. It's wild because she's now in a position where every move she makes gets picked apart, whether it's a diss track, a feature, or even her own love life bleeding into her music. And love her or hate her, Cardi knows exactly how to keep the spotlight on her name. That's why people can't look away, even when they're dragging her, because she's built for this kind of chaos and she's thriving in it. But let's keep it real. The big question now is about legacy. Will Am I the Drummer go down as the comeback that reminded everyone why Cardi B changed the game? Or will it be remembered as the project that showed the cracks in her crown? That's what makes this moment so explosive. Because whichever way it goes, people will be talking about it for years to come. So tell me, do you think Cardi is still sitting on the throne? Or is this album proof that her reign is starting to slip? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. And don't forget, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next big story. I'll catch you in the next one, and if you're craving more messy celebrity drama, click on the video popping up on your screen next. You don't want to miss it.